in 2017, this guy, Blsd Stanley, Francis Rother, Aplas.
Boom.
Spanish on this side. Isn't that
Nice.
convenient?
Yeah. I always get excited. I'm like, how good it's half the length that I thought it was.
He was exactly. He was beatified in 2017. Oklahoma City.
Can I have a look at
they
it?
They had a and I have a relic for you later.
Do you
too.
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I do.
There we go.
2017, he was beatified as he, and if canonized, he'll be the first American-born martyr.
Martyr.
Yeah.
How'd that
so he
happen?
was martyred for the faith. So he's known as the shepherd who didn't run. And during the Civil War, this is during kind of the communist takeover of Latin America, and the state government is, of course, trying to squash communism and guerrillas, in the jungles. And the indigenous people were sort of caught between these two fires. If you were indigenous or you looked indigenous, you were immediately the enemy, right? Because most guerrilla, warriors looked like that. And the guerrillas, the communists were coming into villages and just stealing all the young men, conscripting them straight into the army. They did horrendous things, like they would give them a dog as a young boy. Here's a dog. And then you'd care for that dog for a year. And then, much like the Nazis, they would just say, okay, now shoot that dog in the head, to numb them to, violence and stuff. And so anyway, so indigenous faithful people were just trying to practice their faith. Of course, they were burying their dead. There were over 500,000. I mean, that's like a low estimate of people who were disappeared for the faith. And they started killing catechists. This is the army, right? The Guatemalan army, hiring hitmen to kill catechists and deacons and priests and nuns. And lots of people were losing their lives. And so what happened is the bishops of America just said, okay, everybody home, like get everybody out of there. So all the American priests and nuns left. And Rother, this farm boy from Oklahoma, said a shepherd doesn't run at the first sign of danger. You stay with his flock. And so, he went home for an ordination, told his people, I will come back. They all thought, you're never coming back. He said, I will come back. He comes back on Palm Sunday. There's a picture in that book. And that book's for you too, by the way.
Thank
you. He comes back on Palm Sunday, like a Christ figure, knowing that he was on a death list, knowing that he was going to die. He comes back to Santiago, to his people. And he starts spreading the word, and starts, he doesn't want to be tortured, first of all. Like, he had been picking up mutilated bodies out of the jungle for years and years, and said, was just terrified. Like, I don't want to be tortured. And first of all, because I don't want to be in that kind of pain. But secondly, like, what if I'm weak and I cave and I talk about where the catechists live and where all the people are? And so he spreads the word. He's like, they're not going to take me out of the rectory. Like, I will fight them. Of course, you've been there. So, Guatemalans are small in stature, strong, farmer. He brought modern farming to Santiago. He built a radio station, with his bare hands, a school. So he's a strong guy. And one night they came for him. And the young seminarian, or the young man who was discerning seminary there at the rectory, said, Father, they're here for you. And he said, all right, just bring them in. And for 20 minutes, fought these men off. They were trying to take him out of the rectory. And, he was just like, kill me here. Like, I'm going to die, but I didn't, don't torture me. And so they put 2 bullets in his head right there in the rectory.
Hey, thanks for watching that clip. Would you like this beautiful, very high quality, definitely not made in China, not that there's anything wrong with that, pints with a quinine